This guy's my age.
Yeah. Do you know what you're going to spend in retirement?
I have no idea what I spend on the weekends. Greeting, Andy, Joe, and Roll Tide, Big Al.
Am I a Roll Tide fan now?
What, you Alabama guy?
Not that I knew of, but
I think that
I'll
might have been
go
some
with it.
cross wires.
I would appreciate it if you could give me a spitball if I'm on track for retirement. I'll try to keep it as brief as possible for Joe. Thank you. Personal details. I'm 44. My wife's 46. I drive a 2017 Honda CRV, and my personal beverage of choice is a mojito. My wife and I plan to retire at 62 and 64. Financial details. Household income, $160,000. I've estimated our annual expenses in retirement to be $50,000 in today's dollars, not adjusted for inflation. We have $300,000 saved in a combination of a rollover IRA of $200,000, Roth IRA of $50,000, and our Roth TSP of $50,000. I will have the benefit of carrying health insurance benefits into retirement, and after healthcare expenses and taxes, my pension payout will equal roughly $25,000. The pension will have an annual cost of living adjustment. The pension also carries a $50,000 survivor benefit for my wife. My benefit for Social Security, should I take it at 70, is $3,500 per month. My wife's PIA at full retirement is $1,500 a month.
And by the way, that was 50% survivor benefit, not $50,000.
You said,
Survivor benefit?
you said 50,000
Got it.
survivor benefit.
All right. Finally, our savings rate is currently 23%. I contribute 10% to the Roth TSP, get a match 5%. In the rest, we contribute to Roth IRAs for my wife and myself. I will plan on converting the traditional IRA dollars to Roth as soon as possible, but I really wanted to know if our plan is realistic. My math tells me that once we draw Social Security at age 70, we're likely to have our expenses covered fully with fixed income, but I believe it's better to oversave than undersave. Thank you for your time and any feedback. Okay, breaking this thing down. He's like, Mike, do I have a good plan?
Yeah, so he's in his early to mid 40s, making a good income, has about 300,000 already saved, but saving 23%, which is a healthy number to save for the next 20-ish years, which sounds great. Sounds like fixed income may cover expenses. The plan's fine. Here's my comment maybe, and that is if you're making 160 now, and if you're saving 23%, so let's just call that 40,000, right? Just easy math, right? And maybe your taxes are 20 or 30,000. If it's 20,000 plus the 40 you're saving, so that means you're netting 100. So you're spending 100 right now. Are you sure
You're going to spend 50.
you're going to spend 50? Most people we talk to don't want to spend less. At least they don't want that as their central plan. I mean, if it happens, of course. So I might give that a little bit more thought, because at 50,000, you probably still need clothes. You probably still want to go on trips. You probably still want to go out to restaurants, right? You probably want to spoil kids, grandkids. There's stuff that you want to think about.
At 40, this guy's my age.
Yeah. Do you know what you're going to spend in retirement?
I have no idea what I spend on the weekends.
Well, that's true. That's a different subject.
Right? I'm like, what is he doing? It's like, all right, well, here in my retirement in like 20 some odd years from now, I'm going to spend $50,000 a year.
Yeah. Well, he's had a lot of mojitos and thought about it. I don't need to spend
Dude, a mojito's going to cost him $50,000.
Anyway, I think that the savings plan is great. The starting income's good, so you can save a lot. You've already got 300,000. Good job, great. I just think you're going to spend more than you think. That's my comment.
Right, and then so here's what you do: is that you take a look at really what you're spending, minus your pen. But he's retiring at 62 and 64. Of course, this is the only show I don't bring my calculator. So he's got to bridge a gap from 62 to 70 because he wants to take his Social Security at 70. He's going to have a pension.
Sure.
I'm not sure. We didn't know what the pension is. I just made up the $50,000 number.
He said the pension is going to be roughly $25,000.
Okay, and that's in today's dollars. So I guess it's
right.
It's going to be roughly 50,000 maybe when he turns 62.
But let's keep it today's dollars because the expenses are in today's, well, I see what you're doing. You're trying to figure out what he's going to have.
Right. And then what's the shortfall to determine? I mean, saving 20,000 and he's already got 300,000. I mean, he's going to have a good chunk of money, but is
Right.
it going to be enough? Is kind of the question. So
Well-
50,000 is probably not your living expense number. So
Right.
here's the math that you need to take a look at is probably inflate your living expenses to 100 grand, then subtract out what your pension's going to be, right? If you're going to take your pension at 62, there's a shortfall. And then that shortfall needs to come from your investments to bridge the gap from that age to age 70. And then from 70, you're going to have your Social Security, your wife's Social Security, and your pension. Figure out what that number is, and then still inflate your overall living expenses by, call it 3.5%.
Yeah. So I did the math really quickly. You start with 300,000, you save 40,000 a year at 6% for 20 years, 2.4 million.
Okay. And what's 3% of that?
Okay. 3% of that is 73.
Okay. So 73,000 is going to come from the portfolio for, right, 62 to 70. He's going to have a higher distribution from that age.
Yeah. I mean, so let's just say it's 100 into 2.4, but remember, it can be a little bit higher at the start because you got Social Security coming. That rounds to 4%. It's actually 4.2. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I think if he continues to save what he's saving,
Yeah.
I think he's going to be okay, even though he's probably misjudged a little bit of his living expenses. And trust me, everyone does that.
Yeah.
Oh, here, he probably has a spreadsheet. Well, this is what we're going to spend on groceries. This is what we're going to spend on cable TV.
Yeah. If we have white rice, 6 meals a week and beans, like
Ugh.
6, and we have Cheerios for breakfast.
Oh my God. Remember that one guy, the attorney was making like $800,000 a year and they were like flat broke.
Yeah.
And then the wife was like, well, we should get rid of that Pandora extra that you're
I
spending
do
like
remember that. And,
like $100 a year on.
and the first comment, Joe and Al, we're not lavish.
Oh, we're not lavish.
I think you are.
You're spending every ounce of income that you have. You're spending $900,000.
That-
And you're
yeah.
planning a retirement saying you're going to spend 50.
Right.
Good luck.
How does that work?
Yeah, how does
Yep.
that work?
Are you prepared for retirement? Schedule a free financial assessment with an experienced financial professional right online at purefinancial.com.